I usually don't make a big deal about anniversaries, but I am 5 years cancer-free.
Thank you.
That's how long my ex-wife has been dead. That's my time.
The wife waits you outside.
Not if she's dead. Not a big fan of hospitals with a memorial in the name. Rather go to a place with resurrection in the name, because those people never give up. Or at the very least, they wait 3 days before they call the funeral home to let them know you're dead. And I used to work at a funeral home. It was my job to pick bodies when they died in their homes. One day I thought it'd be funny, I was getting ready to bag up the body. I said to the family, paper or plastic? I got 5 more minutes of these. They gave me a second chance. They said I could drive the hearse. What could possibly go wrong? But then they put a baby on board sticker on the rear window. I'm not even warmed up yet. Come on. My dad and I butted heads when I was growing up. I'd say black, he'd say white, he'd say up, I'd say down. But then when something happened, changed our relationship forever. I said, I wish I was never even born. Well, that moment he came up and put his hands on my shoulders, looked me in the eyes, and said, Ray, finally something we could agree on. Started watching porn when I was like 5 or 6. But before you judge me, keep in mind those are some of the best memories I have spending time with my father. I'm gonna win you over. Not on this one, though. First time I ever went to a strip club, my mom dropped me off. It was take your kid to work day. I give my mom and dad credit, though. We didn't have a lot of money growing up. But they made sure every summer they took us to the water park. At least they told us the water park didn't take us long to figure out it was just a car wash. And then one day they sat me down and said, Ray, if you could be anything in the world, anything at all, what would that be? I said, adopted. That didn't take long. A friend of mine has a silly habit of hanging up on people when she gets flustered and doesn't know what to say. Usually it wouldn't be that big a deal, but she works as a suicide counselor. I used to work as a suicide counselor, but I lost my job because apparently companies do record phone calls for quality and training purposes. One time I got caught telling the caller this better be important. A friend of mine is a really good still photographer. Sorry, I blew that one. I'll go on to the next one. That was a good one, too. A friend of mine has type 2 diabetes. His weight has gotten so out of control that he's got to have surgery to lose weight really fast. What's it called? Anybody? Amputation. Once gave a girlfriend a box of flavored condoms. That was a gag gift. Shortly after I was married, I found out with my first wife, I found out she was pregnant with another man's child. And that was shocking because I had no idea she and her brother were that close. I was talking to another friend of mine. He got upset when I told him how good his wife looked. In his defense, I mentioned while we were standing in front of her casket. That's your line, okay. It was nothing. I was with my neighbor about a month ago when he died. Unfortunately, I didn't see him as I was backing out of the driveway. Looking back, I wish I was looking back. A couple weeks later, I hit a dog with my car. And thankfully, I was able to let the family know that the dog didn't suffer, that he died right away. Just as I could say the same about the little boy that was walking him. It's always upsetting to me when I hear kids crying at the mall. It's going to be that much tougher to get them into my van. You're fine with pedophile jokes, that's weird. I've never looked up to people in wheelchairs. Being in an abusive relationship is hit or miss. Suicidal people are rarely a fun hang. My wife and I have been married for more than 30 years. I mentioned on the other show, and someone said, "I'm sorry, I feel sorry for your wife." That was hurtful because it was my wife. I don't like to brag, but I'm still having sex like a teenager, all alone and feeling ashamed after it. When my wife and I do get together, we have grizzly bear sex. That's when she just lays there, pretends to be dead. My wife and I have 3 grown children. If I could do anything differently, I wish we would raise them cage-free. I hate when women ask, "What are you thinking right now?" This woman asked me so many times, I said, "I'm thinking, how can I make your death look like an accident?" Back in the day, I asked 5 girls to prom, they all said no. Not gonna lie, that made me wonder if I want to be a teacher anymore. That's my time. Thanks a lot. I'm out of here.